Hey, what's up, family? This is your host, Stan, the host of Talking with Friends, the podcast. Just wanted to hit you with something that won't take up a whole lot of your time. And hey, I know we are approaching voting time. We are in the mid part of September right now. Pretty soon this month is going to wrap up. And we are in the midst of the voting season for our next president. I see a whole lot of stuff on social media in regards to Kamala Harris or in regards to Trump. And it's just everywhere. It's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on TikTok. And sometimes these things can skew your view of each candidate that is running. The one thing that I would encourage you, my listeners, to do, my community to do, is study the facts. It costs nothing to Google, to YouTube, to read, to do research on background, and make your opinion judged off of the research that you do, not off of the things that you see on Instagram where somebody's talking about Kamala Harris, or on Facebook where somebody's talking about Trump, or wherever you might see these little tidbits, these little clips put up about each candidate. Do your own research, and come November, make your own decision. Even if people in your family don't agree with it, they'll be okay when it's all said and done. Because at the end of the day, if you're old enough to vote, you're old enough to do your own research, to really research both candidates, not just one. Not if you and your family or your family in general has been 100% Democrat from the time you could remember, or 100% Republican. At the end of the day, we are wise enough, we are smart enough. Nowadays, we live in an information era where if you want to know something, all you got to do is Google it. I pride myself on using ChatGPT. Use whatever resources you have to use to get your research done on each candidate. And then at the end of the day, make your own decision. And come November, may the best person win. We all know this is not something that we just walked into yesterday as far as voting goes. We know that there's going to be some things that are true, some things that are false. But at the end of the day, do your own research, make your own decision, and choose who you're going to choose. And may the best person win come November. Either way, this is a task that it's a great thing that we get to elect a president, but that's a whole lot of stuff that the president has to be mindful of when making a decision on budgets, on taxes, on whatever it might be. He or she has to stand behind that podium and make decisions, and has to deliver that message to the world, especially if it comes down to war in the Middle East, or war in Israel, and we got to send troops over there, putting people in harm's way, American people in harm's way. That's something very big that the president has to make a decision on. So, do your own research. There's enough research out there for you to find out who these candidates are, who these people are that we have to vote for come November. Or you can go independent, or you cannot vote at all. But at the same time, if you don't vote at all, you kind of don't have a voice in when it comes to whether this person was right for the job or wrong for the job. But I do encourage you to do your own research. Figure out who these people are that we're voting for candidate-wise. I'm not encouraging you to vote for anybody in particular. All I'm saying is do your own research. Find out who these people are that we're voting for come November, and may the best person win. But just make your own decision when it comes to voting. There's no right or wrong. I believe that humans are flawed. We make decisions on things 1 minute, and then come a couple of years or 10, 20 years later, our opinions change, our views change, So, and that's just like any ordinary person, any regular person, whether it be a presidential candidate or your next door neighbor who you've known for 20 or 30 years. You know, people change, their decisions change, their thought processes change. So at the end of the day, do your research on both candidates and make your own decision come November. Don't let anybody sway your opinion, but most importantly, do your research and then make your choice. All right, you guys have a great evening. This is Stan, the host of Talking with Friends. This is just something brief that just came into my mind. Actually, it's been in my mind for probably about a month now. You know, there's a lot of stuff flying on social media about Kamala, about Trump, about, you know, it's just a whole lot, and it can get foggy. It can get very foggy as far as the decision-making process goes. And at the end of the day, the scripture says, there's a passage in the Bible that says, the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. Come November, we won't say he's the king we won't say that she's the king that we'll be voting for, but that is the highest office in the United States. And at the end of the day, if your candidate that you choose does not win, at the end of the day, this whole thing is in the Lord's hands. So he can take the worst candidate or the best candidate and have them do something that, you know, that is good for middle class, lower class, and upper class, and just balance that whole scale, you know. So at the end of the day, remember, once it's all said and done, God is in complete control of all of it. And do your research, make your opinion come November, and we'll see what happens in November. You guys have a great evening. This is Stan, the host of Talking with Friends, the podcast. Have a great evening.